Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your reading for, this is for mid-July 2024, and we are going to jump right in here and get started. You start off here with this crescent moon card. It says, as the moon grows, so can your wealth, health, and happiness. Stay positive. You have this temptation card. It says, what is tempting you at the moment may not be a wise choice. So I would definitely be careful of any temptations that are around you at this time. We have Mercury retrograde. There is a little bit of a devilish energy in the astrology as well, so I would say, avoid temptation, but everything else looks pretty good. You have the Temperance card, the Hermit, and the Page of Pentacles. I look at the Temperance card and the Hermit as like somewhat similar in some ways, and that's kind of how it's popping into my head for your reading, is that they're both kind of similar. The Temperance card, of course, is a card of patience and harmony and trying to create miracles in your life, and the Hermit is about more, introspection, soul searching, and going on this long journey, climbing to the top of a mountain so that you can find your inner voice. But they both kind of represent doing something for a long time, because Temperance, you have to be patient, and with the Hermit, you've had to climb to the top of a mountain. And it's interesting also that you end with the Page of Pentacles in this row, because the Page of Pentacles is kind of the new beginning, and the other thing I will say about the Page of Pentacles is that the Page of Pentacles can represent this journey, or this like quest for knowledge, or looking to learn new things in life. And both of those cards kind of represent that as well, especially the Hermit definitely represents this kind of quest for inner knowledge, or trying to learn something. So it's like, and by the way, you have the Devil showing up here, so I would definitely be careful of temptation, like I said. But other than that, this reading looks really good. And I feel that it's saying that you've gone through a difficult period of time, probably, with the Hermit. The Temperance card, I feel these two are connected, Temperance and the Hermit. I feel that maybe you were in a situation in your life that you tried to improve upon, or you tried to fix. It doesn't have to be love. It could have been your work situation, or, your business situation, or, your financial situation. And I feel like you've learned a lot on that journey, but it's really, what this is saying to me is that that journey is leading to a new beginning. It's probably not leading you back to the start. Again, when you go on the Hermit's journey, right, when you climb to that top of the mountain, you are completely different by the time you get to the top of that mountain. You are not the same. And so, again, I kind of feel like this reading, in a weird way, is saying, why would you go back to something? Like, why you've gotten better through this journey, so it's like, why would you go back to fix something that can't be fixed? And I hope that makes sense to you. That's pretty much what I feel like this first row is really getting at, is that there's a situation where it's like you went on a journey to fix it, but there's no really fixing it. And so I hope that makes sense. Like I said, you do have the Temperance card here. The Temperance card even normally has a path that's going up to a glowing crown on it, and that is called the path to glory. And it's basically the path to something that you want or desire. But that path exists on the other side of the water from the Temperance angel. And so I feel for a lot of you that you are kind of deciding to step off on this new path. When we have the Temperance card with the Devil as well in a reading, this kind of represents conquering the devil. It kind of does say that you have defeated temptation, or you have defeated some sort of devil that's in your life. It could be a person, place, or a thing. But the Temperance card is above the devil, and it's kind of like Saint Michael over the devil. And I feel that for a lot of you, where it's kind of like you have conquered something very toxic. You have the Six of Cups wanting to pop out there as well, so definitely could be a past situation. But let's see what comes up in this first row. With the Temperance card, you have the Queen of Swords here. She would be looking forward into the future. I look at her as a card of seeing the future. Not really seeing the future, but she sees her future clearly, which means she understands the steps that she needs to take to accomplish something. And we go straight across to the Nine of Wands here. So again, you could be giving something a second chance, in the sense that, if this is a toxic love that you have conquered, you're going to try love again, maybe not with the same person. Same thing if it was like a business failure or career failure. It's like you are going to try to get something again, but probably different. Again, the Queen of Swords only has clouds halfway up her body, so she's kind of like cautiously optimistic about her future, but she also is clear. So she sees the lessons that she had to learn. She understands the journey. With the Hermit, you have the Knight of Wands. Yeah, you're ready. I just get green light energy off of this Knight of Wands for you. If you're wondering, like, have I completed my healing or my education or my spiritual education or whatever, I feel like the Knight of Wands is basically just saying you're ready to come down from the mountain. With the Page of Pentacles, you have the Four Swords. Four Swords is resting, relaxing, recovering, and healing. It kind of does represent protection in a way, because on the Four Swords, the guy is inside of a church and he is, laying down on that tomb in the church. So he's being protected. We do have the Devil to the Seven of Swords. And so again, I think it would be a good time to protect yourself from anyone who is toxic or anyone who has caused problems in your life or anything like that. So I would, make sure that you have your boundaries up. I've said it before, and I'll probably say it about 100 more times, right? We have Mars going retrograde at the end of the year. Mars retrograde can definitely bring out the weirdos, for sure. You have this Carp card. It says advantages, keen-mindedness, and longevity. You have this Meerkat. It says group dynamics, discussion, and effective leadership as well. So I feel for a lot of you that you're looking for, longer-term things. Again, it's impossible, I think, for most people to not want something that has longevity. We had a ton of energy this year in Taurus. We still have Uranus in Taurus as well. Uranus in Taurus, Uranus especially in Taurus really kind of values freedom, but all that Taurus energy kind of values longevity. Taurus wants us to build things that are going to last for a long time. And so I would, whatever you're working on, I would make sure that you're working on things, not just love, like I said, but, pretty much everything in your life. Like working on things that have longevity, working on things that have legs is kind of what's popping into my head as well. So, if you're working on things that aren't progressing, that aren't going anywhere, I feel that number one, it will be painfully obvious that there is no progress. But I also feel that things that will work will also be very obvious as well to you. So I would, really pay attention to that. You have the Two of Pentacles, the Devil, and the World. Again, I do feel like, the World is a card of completion. And so I feel for a lot of you that you are seeing that, this situation with Devil energy is over. The Two of Pentacles is about, work hard, play hard. A lot of people have been getting this, especially in a Mars retrograde year. Even though it doesn't go retrograde till the end of the year, basically. Still, I would still say it would be a good time to kind of make sure you're taking extra time to recharge your batteries, to rest, relax, recover, heal. All those other good things that we could talk about. You have the Devil, and again, the Devil can definitely represent a toxic person or toxic situation coming in for you. Like I said, I kind of feel it's pretty simple that you've conquered the Devil. We even go straight down here to the Chariot. And the Chariot does represent leaving something behind. He is moving away from the city behind him, and, it kind of represents the death of establishment. I've said this a million times that, because of Pluto's going over the cusp of, Capricorn and Aquarius, it's at the end of the year, like in November, it's officially going to move into Aquarius, and it's going to go over that cusp again in like October or whatever it is. So, again, that cusp right there is the death of establishment. Chariot, the Death card, and I don't know, I can't think right now, but there's like a couple other cards that really do represent the death of establishment, but definitely death in the Chariot card. It doesn't really represent the death of establishment, Chariot, but it represents moving away from something that is established in your life. We have a lot of stuff in the astrology as well. As I was thinking about this the other day, that there's a lot of stuff that's going on that would really represent, kind of like a spiritual divorce, or just, leaving things behind that no longer serve you. And, like I said, there's a lot in the astrology that would really represent this. So, I feel that with this energy. I feel like some of you are kind of just walking away from things. And you have the World, and, the World is kind of a card of completion and achievements and success and all sorts of good things. It also represents opening up to a new world. It represents new possibilities. When in the major arcana, we go from the Fool to the World, and then we enter this world, we enter into a new world as a Fool again, and we kind of learn new stuff, or we have new experiences, or whatever the case may be. So I feel for a lot of you, you are kind of just like entering into a new world. You're leaving old stuff behind, and starting new things. And of course, that is a good thing. So let's see what is going on here. We had a couple cards jump out here. High Priestess and the Seven of Cups right here. So definitely trust your intuition and listen to your inner voice. I'm actually going to put those to the side. It was kind of weird how those popped out. With the Two of Pentacles, you have the Lovers. Not really a love reading. This week, this first week, or I should say, the third week of July, right? The first week of this half of the month, it really feels more like people are focused on building wealth, building financial security. Of course, I think love is always available to us, so if you want it, just go and get it. But what I would say here is that the lovers with the Two of Pentacles definitely represent a choice. Two of Pentacles is a choice. Two of Pentacles is a little bit more about going with the flow. It says you're juggling a lot, you're doing a lot of things, and you need to pick the path where there's less resistance. And the lovers was traditionally a card of making a choice. And so I feel for a lot of you that there could be a couple different options for you as far as where you take your life. And again, I would just pick the path where there's the least resistance. With the Devil, you have the Nine of Swords. This is definitely a repeating cycle, especially going this way. You could be, you could be dealing with a weasel. You could be dealing with a person who's just sneaky, who's tricky. I feel like you kind of are dealing with a person who like skims over details as well. That's what's popping into my head. So if this is a person, and it could be like a work person as well, I think that they like purposely leave things out, and that causes mistakes, and that might help you identify this situation. With the World, you have the Two of Swords. Yeah, it's time to choose which world that you belong to. And I think that we choose this world with our actions, with the habits that we adopt, and all sorts of stuff. So I would enter into the world of love, joy, happiness, peace, positive energy, all that other good stuff. And that's really what I would focus on with the Two of Swords, and also the Lovers and the Two of Pentacles. You have 3 cards here in your next row. Your next row represents messages from your future self. You have this golden egg card, this dragonfly, and the crow. The crow, we'll start there. The crow is kind of like the magician, and he's able to create things with his powers of manifestation. So I do feel that it would be a great time for manifestation for you. You have the golden egg and the dragonfly. The dragonfly represents kind of like illusions, or needing to get down into the little tiny details. If you've ever looked into a dragonfly's wings, it's kind of like looking through a stained glass window. You also have the Four of Swords, which normally there is a stained glass window on the Four of Swords. So it's definitely popping into my head. Also, this Seven of Swords, it says the devil's in the details. So I feel like this is saying that, don't just, really in all situations in your life, get all the details, get all the facts so that you can have a win. I actually feel like this is a good thing, not a bad thing. I feel it's saying like maybe you have some ideas right now about new things that you want to build, which is great. And I also feel like it's saying, don't assume that things are just going to be are just going to work out 100% of the time. I feel this is saying if you get the details, if you come up with a realistic plan, and then you're going to be very successful. So whatever you're working on, I would make sure you're coming up with a realistic plan. The golden egg kind of represents success, and again, I feel this could be a success in this plan. You have this weasel, the Seven of Swords, and the Seven of Swords, of course, can represent lying, cheating, stealing. I kind of get this energy of a person who was like very secretive, or very kind of just secretive energy, a person who had a lot of secrets. You even have the Five of Pentacles as well. And so a lot of you, again, this could be a person who left you out in the cold. Of course, I would be careful. We have Mercury retrograde coming up at the beginning of August, and, we're going to be in the shadow before you know it. So, I would definitely be careful of talking to a past person or anything like that. You have this Five of Pentacles. Both the Five of Pentacles and the Hermit can represent a dark night of the soul, or going through a dark night of the soul. And kind of the energy I get off the Hermit is that, like I said at the beginning, it's like you've already done all this work. It's like, so don't go back down the wrong side of the mountain. You want to go down the other side of the mountain. He's normally, the Hermit is facing forward. He's climbed up like this side of the mountain, and now he needs to go back down the other side, and he needs to teach what he has learned. And so, the part of the Hermit, his next step is to come down from the mountain and to shine his inner light. And I feel the Five of Pentacles is definitely saying, like, don't go down the wrong side. You have the Chariot. Again, the Chariot is about leaving behind everything that you know, and you start kind of like starting over. And I do get that, I don't normally exactly say that on the Chariot, but I do kind of feel that some of you are leaving behind an establishment. And this will lead to a victory. The Chariot is a victory. The Chariot is also a card of willpower. It says where there's a will, there's a way. And so if there's anything you want, I feel this is saying you need to really take control and go for it. I really believe that's the time that we're in. I say this to everyone that, I really believe that if there was ever a time where you could accomplish something, that just seems impossible, it would be right now. We have Neptune in Pisces. We also have Saturn in Pisces. Like I always say, Neptune is that big impossible dream, and Saturn says if you put the work in, sure, you can have it. And so if you start getting to work on whatever it is that you want, then you can create it. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I don't think it's necessarily going to be like super simple, but if you put the work in, you can make it happen. With the Seven of Wands, you have the Seven of Swords, you have the Seven of Wands. This would be about putting up boundaries. So again, I think this is a good sign that you recognize that this is a cycle, whatever it is, and you're just putting up solid boundaries against a person, place, or a thing. With the Five of Pentacles, you have the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is normally about being too cautious and not taking risk. And so the Knight of Pentacles, he has everything he needs. He's been on this long journey with the Hermit. He's learned everything. Everything about the Knight of Pentacles represents knowledge and wisdom. He normally has these oak leaves on his helmet, which represent knowledge and wisdom. So he has the knowledge and wisdom to be successful, but he just has to plant the seed that he's holding in the field behind him, and it will grow. So I feel for a lot of you, all you have to do is get started, and you will see growth. With the Chariot, you have the Hierophant, so there's like a lot of spiritual learning that has been going on for you, and that really this whole entire part of the reading really says that you've been learning a lot, probably through lessons or, climbing the mountain, dark night of the soul type of energy. And the good news is, I feel like you are coming out the other side here, Libra. You have, in the area of the good stuff, you have this card that says the abundant universe will provide. You have a squirrel that says believe in yourself. And like I just said, I think you really need to believe that you can do something that seems impossible, or you need to do something that feels like it's hard to accomplish. And I feel like that's where all the abundance will come in for you with this energy. I feel like you're getting to greener grass as well. You have the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is coming up in the area of the good stuff. It says that you probably will not give up because it's coming up in the good stuff. The Nine of Wands really says don't give up on something that you're working on. But I also feel that you are putting up healthy boundaries. Like I said, you have the Seven of Wands right next to it. Both cards would really represent, putting up boundaries and protecting yourself from, toxic energy, which there's definitely a warning here in this reading about protecting yourself. You also have the Ten of Pentacles, which I love. The Ten of Pentacles is a card of, kind of building wealth and being able to protect your wealth. The Ten of Pentacles, the story of the Ten of Pentacles is that family is inside of these castle walls, so they're being protected, by the castle. And I feel that, I do feel something about that, about you kind of protecting your abundance or protecting yourself from a situation that could steal from your abundance. And I'm not saying like literally a person who is going to steal from you, although of course I would do that as well. But I'm talking about, situations that drag your energy down, that slow you down. There is something about this reading that is really saying remove resistance right here. These two cards really said that to me. And I feel that sometimes resistant situations can, affect our wealth, health, and happiness. So I would make sure you're doing that. You have the Wheel of Fortune, and so, plain and simple, I feel like you're getting out of like a dark period of time, and your fortunes seem to be turning in your favor. A lot of this, I think, is coming down to the actions that you're taking, the people that you're surrounding yourself with, like I already said, and also, the boundaries that you're setting with other people, or it doesn't even have to be people. It could be anything. It could be, boundaries that you're setting at work, like maybe you need to not answer your boss's phone calls when you're home, right? Or, maybe your boss is crossing certain boundaries that you need to protect yourself from, and I feel that here. With the Nine of Wands, you have the Ten of Swords. Yep, I definitely feel like you've put this to rest. Again, everything in the reading this reading flows so nicely, and everything kind of adds up to this Chariot. You walking away from a toxic situation, or you ending a cycle, so that you can find success, or Ten of Pentacles, or whatever it is that you want. With the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Seven of Swords. The Ten of Pentacles, Seven of Swords, in the area of the good stuff. The Seven of Swords is a card of tactics, and so it says, again, there are other ways that you can build wealth in your life. You're going to have to research those ways. You're going to have to be tactical. But if you do that, again, you will be very successful. Seven of Swords comes up like crazy in pretty much every single reading that I do. I think that it's because there are new ways to build wealth. There are new ways. I was just talking to someone about that Haktua girl, right? I don't know. I'm sure you all have seen her, right? She's like made millions of dollars already because just of like one 5-minute 5-second moment on a video, which is crazy. So again, I tell people all the time, it's like, wealth is all around us, and this doesn't even have to be financial wealth. It could be whatever wealth. And again, the way people are going to get wealthy, I've been predicting this for years because of Uranus and Taurus. The way people can get wealthy is going to change. So we just have to scoop up the abundance. And again, you never know. You never know how things could happen. So, be tactical. With the Wheel of Fortune, what do you know? You have the Two of Pentacles right here, going this way. I feel like this is saying that you picking the path of least resistance is going to lead to wealth. So I would move away from anything that causes problems, resistance, challenges, all that other stuff. You have this Kangaroo card. It says, unsettled times need to plan ahead. Yes, I mean, I don't know. I've been saying this all year. I literally, in my yearly reading that I did at the beginning of the year, I said, buckle up, right, for all 12 signs with Christopher Witecki from Serious Joy. So again, I think that we haven't even seen the craziest of the crazy yet. It's only going to get crazier. And so I keep telling people, like, just keep your head on straight. You have this Unicorn card. It says, use your intuition to make beneficial changes. Seven of Cups and the High Priestess popped out. Neptune, High Priestess, and, that big, crazy dream. You could be being guided towards a big, crazy dream, and I would make it happen. You have this Stork. It says, news of a birth or a new business opportunity. I definitely feel work changes here. Again, maybe for some of you, maybe you have a boss that crosses your boundaries, or maybe they call you at home, or things like that. And again, I think that for some of you, it's time to look for something new. You have this Mule card. It says, someone is extremely stubborn and unwilling to change. Devil. You have this Firecracker. It says excitement on it. So, I don't know, maybe you're excited to get this person out of your life. You have this pin. It says new job, new career. So, there you go. This is an amazing reading. I love it. Flows very nicely, which means that, I feel like your next 2 weeks are going to flow very nicely. But thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.